All right, welcome everyone. I'm so excited to have you for this event tonight where we're going to talk about entrepreneur design your own app. So, just want to quickly introduce myself. My name's Jason. I am a program manager here at Av Academy for the UX UI Foundations program that we have. Just a little bit about my background. I'm originally from the Philadelphia area. I moved down here to Miami about 7 years ago. And I had a background kind of all over the place. I started in recruiting. I did a little bit in HR. Then I was fortunate enough to work my way into a instructional design role. And I worked facilitating workshops in design thinking, lean startup, a lot of these innovative frameworks for larger organizations to kind of help them think like an entrepreneur. So this topic is really close to me, and I love talking about this and discussing this. So I'm really excited to have you guys here with me while we kind of explore the path to entrepreneurial success and how UX UI design can be a great partner for entrepreneurs in their journey to sort of take their idea and turn it into an innovative idea, a disruptive idea that sort of breaks into a market and changes the way that people live for the better. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to talk about today is the secret of tech unicorns, right? So we're going to learn how UX UI design skills accelerated the rise of mobile applications and changed the world for the better. If you think to almost any product or service that you use today, there's probably going to be a mobile application associated with that. And UX UI design has a lot to do with taking that entrepreneurial, innovative ideas and making it something accessible for people out there to use. So what we have on our agenda, number one is going to be why the world needs entrepreneurs. Then we're going to move into UX design, your entrepreneurial ally. So how UX design and entrepreneurs kind of work together. We're going to learn about how do I learn UX UI design, and then can I get started today? So we'll go ahead and jump into this. I'm going to leave the chat open for you guys. You can feel free to post your questions in there as we're going along. We'll stop and answer anything, and I'll also leave some time for some Q&A at the end as well. But when right from the start, I'm going to ask you guys to send in a couple of your thoughts here. And the first topic that we have is why the world needs entrepreneurs. So I would just love for you guys to write in the chat, and I'll give you guys a minute to think of some things. But tell me, in your opinion, why does the world need entrepreneurs? So I'll give you all a minute and wait to see how you respond. Awesome. Yeah, innovation. I see employment. Change. Awesome. Yeah, these are all really, really great ideas. I just want to harp a little bit on the innovative side. I think I've seen a few of those responses come through right now, and just making products that people are going to want to use. These are all really, really great insights here, and that's kind of exactly what we're talking about when we think of entrepreneurs. A lot of times we think of them as innovators, right? There's some sort of entrepreneurial spirit. There's a mentality, a motivation, a drive that makes these entrepreneurs want to take something and give it to the rest of the world. So when we think entrepreneurs, we think what is entrepreneurial spirit? It's that drive, it's that motivation to bring change and innovation to to the people around you, to your community. So that leads us to an amazing quote, and I love to share quotes. So you'll see a few of them throughout the presentation, but an awesome quote from one of the best innovators of all time, Steve Jobs. And this was actually from Apple's Think Different campaign. Could have been, I don't even know, early 2000s. And this is what he had to say about entrepreneurs. He says, and while some may see them as crazy ones, we see genius, because the ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. And that's the exact mindset we're talking about when it comes to that entrepreneurial spirit is, crazy ideas that change the world. And the best way to sort of kind of look into that is look into what the impact of that entrepreneurial spirit is to look at the Unicorn Club. This came out, I think, at some point in the 2010s from CB Insights, and every single year they're constantly adding to it. But the Unicorn Club is a private company that hits that $1 billion valuation, and that used to be unheard of until the rise of tech and the advancements in tech. We're starting to see more and more companies break into that Unicorn Club faster than ever, at a quicker pace than ever, bringing simple ideas, things as easy as, calling a ride through Uber onto your phone, just blowing up and becoming these incredible, innovative products and services that people want to use. So, this is where passion meets work. This is what drives leaders to change and innovate and make a positive difference in the world. And think of, if we kind of zoom in here, you could see there's industries sort of all over in this Unicorn Club, right? You have, on demand, which is going to be like Lyft, Lime for the scooters. You have, you can see, fintech in there that's kind of helping bring banking into more convenient for people. But these these companies have done something. They've struck a nerve with somebody, taking a very simple, idea and changing it for the better. If you look at something like Instacart, just a simple delivery service for groceries, that might seem, kind of insignificant in the grand scheme of things. But what it does is it changes, it really changes the life of somebody that's using Instacart. There could be somebody who, as a single parent, they're really trying to take care of their kids and be with their kids as much as they can. And when they get off work, instead of having to go and, sit in traffic and spend some time at the grocery store, they're able to just order on Instacart, go right home, have those groceries delivered, and it impacts their life for the better. And that's what pushes these companies into that Unicorn Club. That's what pushes these, entrepreneurs to reach that $1 billion value, because they've taken a simple idea and made it easier for people and improve the lives of people around them. So let's look, to stick with this Unicorn Club, this unicorn status, let's kind of take a look at what this is. So to become a Unicorn Club, we know you have to hit that $1 billion valuation. The total number of unicorn companies out there is about 1,200 right now. Some of the most established ones were Airbnb, Uber, Meta, Google. And then right now, the most valuable unicorn companies is Instacart, which we were just talking about. Stripe. Again, if you think of Stripe is just a simple payment transaction software, right? If you go on to any e-commerce platform or retail store that has an e-commerce platform and you purchase something, a lot of times that transaction is being used with Stripe. But Stripe has simplified the use of transactions so much so that everybody wants to use them. Businesses want to use them, consumers want to use them, because they've made that transaction so easy. That's why they've been pushed into that Unicorn Club status. Shein, the clothing company with clothes that are affordable and look great, another one that got pushed into that unicorn company status. Epic Games, and then ByteDance, you might know it as TikTok, just entertainment, but it's something that people want. So these are all examples of companies that have reached that unicorn status. These are all examples of companies that are most valuable today. And, like everything, there's always going to be new innovative ideas that make it in there. So what makes a unicorn, right? We've talked about some of the companies, we've shared some examples, but let's look at the traits. Let's learn from the best. What are the traits of a unicorn startup, of entrepreneurs? The first thing is its disruptive innovation, right? It requires creative solutions that differ from industry norms. And one of the first examples that we can talk about for disruptive innovation was one of those most established unicorn companies was Uber, right? Taxi cabs, car services were the norm. That was the industry norm. If you wanted to get a ride somewhere and you didn't have somebody to take you, a taxi cab was the way to go, or calling a car service was the way to go. Uber had completely disrupted that industry by coming up with a creative solution. And it might have sounded crazy when it first came out, right? Open up your phone, call a stranger to come pick you up, get in their car, and then let them drive you somewhere. I mean, that sounds bizarre, but when you think about it, people enjoyed the convenience. They liked it. There was, safety, trust around, calling an Uber driver. They completely disrupted that innovation. The next trait of a unicorn company is going to be tech savvy. That list of 1,200 companies that are within that unicorn club status,